Hello everybody on the VC. I'm going to do a video with a difference today. I will be focusing on my latest pickups towards the end of this video, but I'm going to do something that I've been planning to do for quite a while. I'm going to do a video looking at my signed items, CDs and vinyl which I've got, which are signed by the artists, and I've got quite a few of them lately. I've kind of gone on a bit of a signing frenzy, but so basically there's kind of three categories really. There's items which I personally met the person and got them signed by them. Second category are items which usually kind of record store day releases, which were special releases signed by the artist, so I've got a couple of them as well. Thirdly, items which were signed, which I either bought online or picked up, in record fairs or wherever. Now, the vast majority of them, I'm quite happy that they are the real thing. There's just one or two which I'm not completely sure about, so I'll get onto them in a while. But I will start off with Wednesday night. So the night before yesterday, I went to see John Cooper Clarke here in Cork. He's played Cork a couple of times in the last few years, but for various reasons, which I think were work related, I wasn't able to see him. So I went along to see him. He's I've been meaning to see him live for quite a while. So he's a complete legend, and so yes, so went along to see him in the pavilion. John Cooper Clarke, for those who are not familiar with him, he's a performance poet who emerged from the punk era in the late 70s from Salford, which is an area of kind of north Greater Manchester in the UK. And in recent years he's become probably best known for one of his pieces, evidently Chicken Town, was used in The Sopranos, and I think it was the penultimate episode, the very second last episode of The Sopranos. But anyway, I went along. I have this it's not Crackle and Bob, which is his best album, in my opinion. It came out in 1980. This is an original press. I came along. I wasn't 100% sure whether I'd get to meet him or not, or whether he'd sign anything. But as it turned out, after the show, there was only a very small number of people who were waiting, kind of in the wings, and then I was just hanging around for about 5 minutes. Then the security guy said, "Okay, you can come in. You can come in and meet him." So in we went. I met him. I was there for about half an hour. He served us with gin and tonic. I got absolutely stocious drunk. Met him. Where are we now? I had my camera. I took a few pictures. Unfortunately, the one picture that I had of myself with him, taken with him, didn't come out. The person who took it didn't take the picture properly, and I took a few pictures of him with other people because I don't know if you can see that. That girl there, she asked me specifically would I take pictures because she had no camera on her, and I took a few pictures for her with him, and I sent them onto her Facebook. There's another one. There we go. There's John in the middle. And this guy, this is his manager. Johnny Green is his name. He's he was the former road manager of the Clash. So unfortunately, I didn't get any picture of myself with him because the one picture that I had taken, it for some reason it didn't come out. That was quite disappointing. Anyway, I got this signed by him. There we go. Dave, God bless you. Dr. John Cooper Clarke. He calls himself Dr. John, kind of a running joke. So yeah, I was there half an hour. I was absolutely stocious drunk. I can't remember. I do remember I was talking to them for kind of long periods, but a lot of what I can't actually remember a lot of the conversation. Anyway, so that was John Cooper Clarke. One person who I was actually talking to him about because they know each other is John Robb of the Membranes. Saw them live a few weeks ago. I got this single signed by him. Now I'm just conscious of time, so I'm not gonna spend too much time dwelling on the actual releases. I'm just gonna kind of showing them specifically for the signature. Another Manchester legend, Martin Garrett, sleeve designer. He designs this sleeve for magazine, The Correct Use of Soap. I met him he gave a kind of a talk here in Cork a few weeks ago on graphic design and about his kind of experiences in the music industry. So I got him to sign this, The Correct Use of Soap, and he also signed this magazine compilation as well. He designs fantastic design there as well, which he did. So there we go. Now the vast majority of items that I have here are actually CDs. So I'm going to start off with, can you believe it, up until last year, I never approached well, I don't want to use the word celebrity because that's just a meaningless phrase, but famous person. I had never approached a famous person to speak to, because out of kind of awkwardness or whatever. But I broke that tradition with Billy Cobham, jazz fusion extraordinaire, when I went along to see him at the Cork Jazz Festival last year. So I got this CD signed by him. I wasn't speaking to him long. I just shook his hand and congratulated him and welcomed him to Cork, and so this is my very first autograph from comparatively recently. So so this is always going to be special to me. So I found that approaching kind of prominent people. I mean, it's just the thing is just to speak to them just like they're ordinary people. Just be polite and don't kind of don't be kind of too overexcited or anything. Just speak to them like normal people, and you'll get on fine. Now I have a big stack of CDs, a lot of which I've already shown. A lot of these I got signed a few weeks ago at the Southern Gothic Festival, which was here in Cork recently. I've shown a lot of these recently. Barons Whitfield and the Savages, Dig Die Savage Soul. Unfortunately, I didn't get this signed by Barons Whitfield himself because I couldn't find him after the gig. So it was signed by his band. the ZZZs, all female Japanese band. Got this signed by them as well. I went through this. I showed these all quite recently, so we'll just go through them kind of quickly. Oh yeah, something I didn't show last time was I saw the Handsome Family as well a couple of weeks ago. I've seen them about 4 times in total. Now that they've had quite a publicity boost recently with one of their tracks being used in the TV series. Is it called True Crime? It's kind of a detective series on True Crime, I think. Yeah. So there was quite a lot of people at the gig, at this particular gig, and there was after the show there was kind of a queue for them to sign stuff, but there's a couple of people who were like jumping the queue and being complete assholes. So I got signed by both of them. Rhett, I was kind of chatting to him a bit more. He's a character. He could sit chatting all night. Also, there's the support act. I got a CD signed by him. Vikesh Kapoor is his name. He is from Pennsylvania, I think. As his name suggests, he's of Indian extraction. He's a folk singer, very much kind of reminiscent of the young Bob Dylan. Yeah, he's quite good. He's very kind of self-consciously, I think, styles himself on Bob Dylan. He even had the kind of thing with the harmonica, that's kind of attached to the guitar that he was playing. But he's a nice fella, and I got this signed by him as well. Now, I also went to see Mark Mulcahy, who was a former singer with an American alternative band called Miracle Legion. This is a solo CD by him. He's a very nice guy as well. I was chatting to him for quite a bit. So I got this signed by him. By the way, he wrote, "This is Coney Island." He was explaining to me that these photos were all taken by a friend of his. He was going through all the photos in detail. The cover image, he said, is I think it was in India it was taken, and that this guy is a monk, and the monkey is blind, and he was like looking after the monkey. But there we go, Mark Mulcahy, very nice guy. Okay, so I think, and the Space Lady, saw her recently as well. Got this CD signed by her, as well as a flyer. So now let's go on to vinyl releases, record store day releases. This is the Inspiral Carpets record store day release from I think 2012, signed by all the band, as you can see there. Okay, Nursed Wound, I have a couple of items signed by Stephen Stapleton. This is another record store day release from 2012. This is Rupture, which was a collaboration between himself and Graham Bowers. And I'll just see if one of a copy of 300 pressings, each with a signed print. Let's see if we can get there. There we go. Okay, so Graham Bowers and Stephen Stapleton's signature there. Okay, and I have another item signed by Stephen Stapleton. Just bear with me. This is a compilation EP. It's called 4 Years in 30 Seconds. Among others, well, Nurse of Moon don't actually appear on it, but Stephen Stapleton did collaborate on some of the songs on this, and he did the artwork as well. And this is I showed this upside down the last time I showed it. I think this is yeah, that's right. That's the correct way up. So yeah, so this is signed by him. I purchased this actually from him online from Discogs. He's selling off quite a lot of his stuff online on both Discogs and eBay. So I purchased this directly from him. Okay. Bear with me 2 seconds. Now, another item which I purchased online was this. This is by Michael Rother of Noi. He was also in an early lineup of Kraftwerk. So this is a solo album, Flammende Herzen, which originally came out in 1977. Now this is an early 80s reissue. This also features Jackie Liebesbitt, the drummer from Can, and it is signed both by Michael Rother. There we go. And also Jackie Liebesbitt. Now I bought this online. I have no reason to doubt that these are the genuine autographs. They came from the collection of I think it was an Austrian collector who had amassed a very large collection of mainly kind of krautrock, and had a lot of them signed, and he passed away, so his collection was sold on and was being sold off by this particular dealer online, who I've no reason to disbelieve that these are the real thing. So there we go. Something else which I bought online. This is Stan Getz, Another World. Again, I bought it was from a reputable dealer in the States who was selling off his collection. This is signed by Stan Getz as well. It's quite faint. It's a bit smudged. It's kind of red pen, but you can make it out there. Go. Now, I think that is the signed items. I'm going to finish up with the daddy of them all. This is something which I bought last year in the Mother Jones flea market, which is where I bought a lot of my vinyl. So this is Space Oddity by David Bowie, early 70s repress. I bought this. I noticed there was some writing on the back. I didn't take too much notice of it. Took it home, had a closer look at it. There we go. I was like, what? I was like, is that David Bowie's autograph? So I was like, I looked it up online. I was looking up examples of his signature. Now his signature seems to kind of it does seem to vary quite a bit down through the years, but I did see a couple of examples which very strongly resembled it, particularly with that kind of kind of a like a I don't know how you describe it. That I suppose it's kind of a D, maybe D for David. I'm not sure, but I did see quite a few signatures that kind of matched that. I went back the next day and I asked the guy who sold it to me. I said to him, "Do you know anything about this? Or do you know is that genuine?" Funnily enough, he didn't seem that interested. He didn't seem to. He seemed to think it was printed, which it quite clearly isn't. It's very clearly not printed. It is written in pen, but he didn't seem all that bothered, which is kind of strange. He said he bought it in the late 90s in London in a kind of not a record shop. It was like a kind of a second-hand shop, I think, kind of just a general kind of, almost like a kind of like cash converter kind of a shop. So I don't know if it's genuine or not, but I very much hope that it is. Obviously, because to have a genuine David Bowie autograph is especially with his profile rising in the last year with the release of the next day. It's really is a kind of something to treasure. I'm going to finish up with some records which I've picked up recently. Just bear with me. Last week I showed you on my last video. I showed you this record which I got, a 60s album by a Canadian band called Cat, which I played, and I didn't particularly like it. I brought it back to the seller. I said, I played this. I'm not really mad about it. Is there any chance I could exchange it for something else? I've only played it once. So I got this instead. This is by Paul Brett Sage. The album is called Jubilation Foundry. It is on the it's on the Orange Dawn label, which is quite a collectible label. It's kind of folk rock, early 70s. Paul Sage himself has quite a good strong singing voice, and there's some good songwriting on here. Some of the lyrics at times can be a bit cloying, but I'm happy with this. I think it was a good pickup, and it's in absolutely excellent condition as well. Something else I picked up only yesterday. These 3 folk albums on the Topic label, the Child Ballads 2 and Child Ballads 1, which are part of the Folk Songs of Britain volume. These originally came out in 1961. These are reissues, I think. I'm not exactly sure when they came out because the Discogs doesn't exactly say, but they are slightly later reissues. Now, they are in perfect condition, but as you can see, the sleeves got kind of damp. They're obviously stored somewhere damp for a long period, and there is kind of damage to the sleeves, as you can see. Now, these collect folk songs from both Britain and Ireland. So the songs from Scotland, England, Ireland. No, these are the real deal. These are they're just ordinary people singing songs which have passed down from generation to generation over hundreds of years. Also, oh yeah, there's another one as well. Also on the Topic label, and it's called Bonnie North Tyne Northumbrian Country Music, and they all come with a booklet. So you know, this again, this music, it's all played by kind of local musicians, you know, non-professionals, you know, just playing the kind of songs that have been handed down over the years. And this came out in 1974 on the Topic label. Something completely different. Karlheinz Stockhausen, Microphony 1 and Microphony 2. I'd always been meaning to pick up some Stockhausen, but you don't generally just do not come across him in record fairs. He is, I find, quite hard to come across. So I got this online on eBay, and it came surprisingly not all the way from Israel. I have to say that the postage was very reasonable. It came by priority post, and it cost quite less than a lot of similar stuff which I've ordered from, you know, nearer home, from the UK, etc. It's a UK release on CBS Blue Label. But look at that cover. Like, George Lucas obviously must have seen this at some point and gotten the inspiration for the Death Star in Star Wars, I think. But so it's for those of you who are familiar with Stockhausen, it's challenging. It's the father of krautrock, also a strong influence on industrial music. Not for everybody, not an easy listen, but certainly a challenging one. But okay, so it's run to 27 minutes. I think better leave it at that now. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and hope you enjoy this. So have a good weekend.